Ruto has violated so many provisions of the Constitution, starting with the Chapter 6, integrity. The integrity provisions have been peed on and defecated on. And there is nothing that we are going to do about it unless we remove him. And he's not capable of cleaning himself. So the scandals are too many to enumerate. They happen every day, and it is almost as if he does it so that you wouldn't know where to start. Because would you really start with the fake fertilizer? Or would you start with the scandal about edible oils? Or would you start with the housing levy? Or would you start with the 700 million for every infrastructural development, 700 billion for every infrastructural development that they have so that they can steal? Or should we start with Farouk and his thugs, or Oscar Sudi, for people who are in the diaspora or people who are capable of reaching the puppet controllers, the puppet owners in the Western Hemisphere? This is exactly what I said yesterday. I said, if you can reach them by email, do so. If you can reach them by phone, do so. Bombard them completely. And as I said earlier today, if you are capable of drafting petitions or drafting any instrument for purposes of bringing them and also Ruto to account anywhere in the world, go ahead and do so. We encourage you strongly to do so. It's quite effective. If you are capable of picketing or demonstrating for those who are in the diaspora, in Washington and other places, do so. Make sure the world hears you. The problem is Ruto. The problem is not his advisors. The problem are not his employees or anybody else. There was a time I spoke with a friend of his and a confidant of his. And I asked, what is the problem? Why would Ruto hire this kind of people? Why would Ruto hire Aisha Jumwa or Moses Kuria or any of these danderheads that would not be able to write their names on a full scale? Some of them are so drunk 24 hours that they wouldn't be able to do anything, even in the offices. And the guy told me, I asked him the same question, particularly when he appointed so-and-so. I'm not going to say the name, but the appointment was so ridiculous. And Ruto looked up to him and told him, first of all, who appointed you my advisor? Essentially saying, you're my friend, but you're not my advisor. Secondly, who told you I appointed them to work? In other words, Ruto says he's the only one who is supposed to do everything. And these people are supposed to be puppeteers who follow his direction. So whatever has happened, he has directed. Whatever has gone wrong, he has approved, authorized, and directed. He is the problem. He thinks he knows everything and he knows what. He thinks that Kenya is a chicken coop that he can micromanage. A country is too big, too complex to be micromanaged by an individual who does not know his left from his right to begin with. Being eloquent is not knowledge, and we must disabuse him of this. A country, even if you are the most intelligent, you wouldn't have enough hours to be able to dispense your knowledge on every sector in every sphere. So Ruto is the problem. And then the regime he put in place must fall with him because he brought them up and they have failed us. So I believe I'm answering Benji in a way that we are dealing with a psychopath. We are dealing with I wouldn't even call him a demagogue. He's worse than a demagogue. There is no English word to describe Ruto right now. He has metamorphosed into something too dangerous, too complicated to be understood even by Ruto himself, as we could see when he was being interviewed. So we are past redemption. We are into reconstruction, replacement, and punishment. Unless he decides on his own just to go into exile, in which case we can also bring him back. But as it is right now, he should resign, apologize to the Kenyan people, and maybe we may forgive him after he has brought back all the money that he has looted. But there should be no reverse gear. We are moving forward. Ruto has violated so many provisions of the Constitution, starting with the Chapter 6, integrity. The integrity provisions have been peed on and defecated on. And there is nothing that we are going to do about it unless we remove him. And he's not capable of cleaning himself. So the scandals are too many to enumerate. They happen every day, and it is almost as if he does it so that you wouldn't know where to start. Because would you really start with the fake fertilizer? Or would you start with the scandal about edible oils? Or would you start with the housing levy? Or would you start with the 700 million for every infrastructural development, 700 billion for every infrastructural development